Is there anything I can do for you, sir? You know? Yeah? I'll be right back with you, okay?
But yeah, I don't understand why he doesn't request that she pull in, because this is just creating problems here for traffic.
We just live stream police. Yeah? Just checking you out, making sure you're...
It's all good, but here's the thing. I didn't hear you come up. That's what I'm getting at.
What is it doing? Why is there a filter?
You know, out of respect.
I come up and like, hey, you're behind you or something like that.
Yeah, that's why I was kind of chatting when
I couldn't.
You know
hear
it's
you,
not
so you
illegal,
surprised me.
but I was trying to do you the favor.
Yeah, I know it's not illegal.
I
just
trying
didn't hear you because I was talking to him.
Gotcha. What's your name?
Flagel.
Flagel?
Yes,
you
sir.
guys have badge numbers out here or no?
I do.
What is it?
Deputy Flagel.
What's that?
Deputy Flagel.
Deputy Flagel? What's your
Refusal
badge
to ID the
we're gonna do
badge
that,
number
huh?
there.
All right, I'm gonna be watching you then, Flagel. Good job, buddy.
All right. So Flagel does not want to give his badge number. I think that was a tyrant.
Silversmith and political radical Paul Revere captures the moment British soldiers kill 5 colonists in the streets of Boston. His engraving will fuel the fires of revolution as outrage spreads across the 13 colonies.
Unhappy Boston, see thy sons deplore, thy hallowed walks besmeared with guiltless gore, whilst faithless Preston and his savage bands with murderous rancor stretch their bloody hands.
The most formidable army in the world, firing on an unarmed crowd. An explosive image with a title that says it all. The Bloody Massacre.
There was the old joke, you give me a picture, I'll give you a war. Those who wanted to stir things up and to make a statement and maybe even lead a revolution, it made them able to rally others to their side.
News spreads fast. The colonists are avid readers, a legacy from the first Bible-reading Puritans in Plymouth. Boston has the first weekly newspaper.
I just told you, you failed to identify yourself. You weren't wearing a seatbelt because you haven't been a seatbelt since we were over here.
How do you know that?
Because I was on the passenger side this whole time.
Yeah, but
We're about to break your window.
go.
Ma'am, open the door over.
Glass all over me and hurt me like that, I will sue the shit out of you.
Listen, he does not want his window broken. Okay. Please unlock your door.
Just open the door.
Wow, I hope all of you get in deep shit. Don't give me the 1-2 countdown anyway.
Okay, step out
That's
of the car.
bullshit.
Get out of the car.
So, I'm not acting like a kid. I'm acting like a citizen without any rights, obviously, because I'm being yanked out of a car.
For a seatbelt? If my phone gets broken, I'm suing the shit out of you too. Oh, take the phone, of course, because you know what?
Hey, stop.
You want your evidence? Give me my phone. Oh my god, it's okay, thanks. Now you guys owe me a phone too.
No, we don't.
No, I'm not. Yeah, you need to throw my phone for what?
Stop
For
resisting.
what? Why did you throw my phone? For a seatbelt?
Because you're not complying.
This is for a seatbelt?
Yes.
This is the treatment I get for a seatbelt?
Yes, absolutely.
Ow, you're fucking gonna break my arm. You like my fucking arm? I'm not, but you're twisting my fucking arm up so hard that it fucking hurts.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of tyranny and to the tyrants for which it stands, one pig next to his colleague, oppressing people's rights forever.
Take a picture of you. Turn around.
You're dismissed.
Officer Powell, you wanted him to get up, didn't you?
No, sir.
You wanted him to move towards you, didn't you?
No, that's not what
You
I
wanted to hit him in the head with a baton, didn't you?
No, sir.
This is a trial that sent protesters into the streets, demanding justice and in some cases revenge. A trial that seemed to be based on an 81-second videotape recorded on March 3rd, 1991 on a home video camera. Evidence that seemed so clear and convincing that the nation had already presumed guilt long before the jury reached its verdict.
I don't see him live either.
Keep up the great work, Justin.
Hey,
thumbs
thank
up
you.
medium dark skin tone film projector movie camera.
Oh, I love her describing the icons. Horizon City News Service. He is based out near El Paso. Definitely be sure to give him a sub. He spends, I'll tell you, he does a lot of time on his videos. It's just very apparent. He is really spending a lot of time on this stuff. He kind of came out of the gate running. One of his first videos, he caught a stop of an El Paso policewoman arrested for DWI, and the police are after him for that big time. I mean, that really stirred the hornet's nest out there, and he could really use your support because they're gunning for him, and only with your support will he stay free.
Dial 2 for sheriffs. Dial 3 for detectives. Dial 4 for records.
Please hold while I transfer your call.
Bonneville County Sheriff's Office, this is Erin.
Yes, I'm trying to do an open records request for some information about the sheriff's deputies.
Okay. And what can I help you with regarding that?
Well, I guess my first question is, can I just ask for it on the phone, or do I have to put it in writing? I know that there's specific requirements.
Yeah, we require that all requests are put in writing. So you can either come into the window down here at the courthouse to our office and fill out the request form. You can fax us your request, or you can send it via email.
Yeah, I'm going to have to do it in email. I don't live in Idaho, so email is going to work for me.
Okay. Let me know whenever you're ready, and I'll give you the email address.
Yeah, let me get my little notepad here.
Okay.
And who am I speaking with?
This is Erin, but any one of us here at the records office can handle the request for you.
I'm not sure. Are you a civilian employee, a deputy?
Well, technically, I am a deputy records clerk.
So you have a gun and a badge?
No.
Okay.
Just,
I mean, that's a problem. I was just wondering.
No.
Yeah. So I just like to keep a track of who I'm speaking to. That's all.
Gotcha.
Do you have an identifying number?
My call number is 590.
Okay. And again, I'm not on a witch hunt for you or anything like that. I just keep a record of who I'm talking to.
No, you're good.
Yeah.
I understand.
Thank you. And so yeah, I got my notepad. I'm ready for the email address.
Okay. It is B as in boy, C as in Charles, S as in Sam, O as in ocean, records with an S at the end, at CO, like Charles Ocean, dot Bonneville. Do you know how to spell that since you're out of the area, or I can spell it out for you?
Yeah, if you don't mind.
Okay, it's B as in boy, O, N as in Nancy, N as in Nancy, E as in Edward, V as in Victor, ILLE as in Edward, dot ID as in David, dot US as in Sam. So BCSO records at co.bonneville.id.us.
Okay, so the last 4 is I as in India, D as in dog, US.
Correct. .us.
Oh. All right, let me start from Bonneville again. So I got Bonneville.
Okay.
Yeah. And then what comes after Bonneville?
So Bonneville.id.us.
All right, let me spell it back to you.
Okay.
B as in boy, C as in Charlie, S as in Sierra, O as in Oscar, and then records. I'm not going to spell that out because that's obvious.
I gotcha.
Yeah. At, and then no spaces, all lowercase, and then at C as in Charlie, O as in Oscar, dot Bonneville, BONN, Nancy, EVILLE, Bonneville, dot ID, dot US.
Correct.
Okay. Another question I had, if you happen to know this information, how do I spell correctly Deputy Flagle's last name?
FLEGEL.
FLEGEL.
Correct.
All right. And would you be able to give me his badge number?
Let me see. I'm looking at my list. Hold on. He is 347.
347. All right. And the last question I had would be in regards to policies. I guess I'll have to put this in writing, but would you happen to know off the top of your head, and I will put this in writing, but is there a document, like a written set of procedures and policies with the Sheriff's Office about sheriff's deputies interacting with the public regarding giving basic information like badge numbers? If you happen to know where I could seek those records, I'd like to know that. I know I have to put it in writing, but I'd like to just so that I know where I'm headed.
So you can send the request to us via that email, and then we can forward it to probably our public relations sergeant would be, well, that, or we could, run it by Captain Hulse. He would know. I mean, I could sit here and rifle through our code, but it might take longer. They would probably much quicker know where to look for it. So what you can do is just, in that request state what information you're looking for, and then we will take the appropriate measures to either get a hold of that for you, or if you want one of them to contact you on it, that works too.
Okay. Yeah, that's all good information. In regards to that name that you mentioned, you said that there was a captain. Can I get that person's name?
Yeah, Captain Sam Hulse, HULSE.
And can I get his badge number?
343.
Number 343. And I'm not sure how many people work for this sheriff's department. Is it like 50 people, 100 people? Is it big, small?
It's definitely more than 50. I would say we're close to, I know like the last time I heard, but this was a while ago, it was like over 80. So we're probably closer to 100 at this point, if not already there. They've hired a handful of new people, so I could not tell you the official number, but my office manager could.
Now, is that a rough estimate all of the warm bodies, or is that the count of the actual sworn deputies?
I believe that was the count of everyone who works under the, within the sheriff's office.
Right. Okay.
Name. So it might be, including. Because you've got everyone out in the jail who works at the jail as well, and I couldn't tell you how many people are out there.
I understand.
So, but if you want to include that in there too, if we ask our direct supervisor or office manager, she would have an answer for you.
Yes, of course. And the reason I was asking that broad question is because I was just trying to get a general idea. Captain Sam Hulse, is he like directly below the sheriff himself, or what?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's the sheriff, and then there's Captain Hulse, and then there are, I believe, 4 lieutenants over various areas, and then there are multiple sergeants, again, over various duties.
Yes, of course. All right. Just trying to think of anything else here. And the other question I had was, you said the word code. I think that's what you said. Is there some sort of official name for your, I guess, like general manual or policy manual?
We do have a policy and procedures manual. Yeah, the sheriff's office has a policy and procedure manual.
Names.
Oh yeah.
So do you guys have a special name for yours, or is it just called policy and procedures?
I believe it's just referred to as the policy and procedures manual.
Okay. And the reason I get so picky about that is because I've done other records at other government agencies, and I'll ask.
Gotcha. And they call it other things.
Yeah, they're like, "Oh, you mean the general orders manual?" I'm like, "Yeah, okay, yeah."
Gotcha. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
we refer to it as the policy and procedures manual.
Okay, sounds good. And I'm sorry, man, it's been a long day. You said your name was?
My name is Erin, E-R-I-N.
E-R-I-N. All right, and well, I appreciate all your help, Erin. I will be sending a records request to this email address that you've given me.
Perfect. Sounds good.
Have a great weekend.
Thank you. You too.
Goodbye.
Bye.
You're the one escalating things with your spotlight. You can play all the games you want. Hey, what's your name and badge number?
Officer? Officer, what's your name and badge number?
I'm asking you a question.
What's your name and badge number? Officer, can you hear me? Are you deaf? What's your name and badge number?
You got a spotlight in my face for no reason. What's the problem? Seriously, why are you doing this? What's your problem? What is the deal? What is the purpose of doing that? Just to blind my camera for no reason?
Why do you have a problem with cameras? You put on a uniform to serve the public. No, I'll stand right here. Back up, dude.
Sir, go and turn around for me, okay? I didn't do nothing.
Sir, go and turn around.
I didn't do nothing.
Dude, what the fuck?
Oh, he's got the mace out. He wants to mace somebody. It's not even for his protection. He just wants to mace peaceful protesters. He doesn't have enough fingers and toes between all of them to tell you how many people he assaulted today. He has no idea how many rights have been violated just today. They're already planning for tomorrow. The First Amendment guarantees you the right to freedom of speech, freedom of the press, the right to gather in peaceful protest. The Fourth Amendment guarantees you the right to be safe from illegal search and seizure. You're free within your persons, your papers, and your effects, and that progress shall and will not be impeded.
I don't have to give you my ID.
You weren't wearing a seatbelt. Yes, you do.
That's an infraction. You need to give me your ID. No, I don't need to give you my ID.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't. Do you need to pull you out of the car?
Okay, you're going to end up in the same situation that he's in.
I don't have to give you my ID.
Okay.
Because I don't have to.
I just told you, you failed to identify yourself. You weren't wearing a seatbelt because you haven't been a seatbelt since we were over here.
How do you know that?
Because I was on the passenger side this whole time.
Yeah, but
We're about to break your window.
go.
Ma'am, open the door.
Break that window and then get glass all over me and hurt me.
3 seconds. Listen.
I want his window broken.
Okay?
Please unlock your door.
Just open the door.
How long have you been domestic terrorists to the Constitution of our United States?
Sandy speaks. Sandy is speaking, and again, I do apologize. And if I'm looking a little crazy, this is because this is a test. It's time, y'all. It's time. It's this thing that I'm holding in my hand, this telephone, this camera, it is quite powerful. Social media is powerful. We can do something with this. If we want to change, we can really, truly make it happen. You know, we sit out here and talk about, oh, we need the next so-and-so and this and that. No, you don't. No, you don't. Start in your own home. Start with you.
In this screencast, we'll discuss the Fourth Amendment and its protection from unreasonable searches and seizures. First, though, let's look at the historical context of the Fourth Amendment. Under English law, the saying was, if the constable blunders, the crook should not go free. In other words, if the police made a mistake, it shouldn't result in the charges being dismissed. Now, this was a problem because it encouraged the introduction of evidence as trustworthy when it wasn't. Whenever a police officer violated someone's rights, they could just say, whoops, I made a mistake, and the charges wouldn't be dismissed. So the Fourth Amendment tries to prevent this. It protects us from unreasonable searches and seizures. In this screencast, we'll discuss the 14th Amendment. It's not technically part of the Bill of Rights, but it's very important to it. The 14th Amendment was passed in 1868, just shortly after the Civil War. Among many things it does, it ensures the rights enumerated in the 1st through 10th Amendments would apply to all people. It said the citizens of all states are also citizens of the United States, and the state governments shall not infringe upon the rights of citizens of the United States. So at this point in history, the Bill of Rights and the U.S. Constitution protected people in their interactions with both the federal and the state governments. The new U.S. Constitution began on September 17, 1787. That's when a convention of delegates from 12 states, all of them except Rhode Island, proposed a new constitution to the people through the Continental Congress for ratification. The colonists rebelled because the English king, this guy, George III, refused to them all of their historic rights as free English citizens. Americans, before the Revolution, believed that the law was superior to any government, even the king's, and they wanted to secure those rights for their future.
Is there anything I can do for you, sir?
I had a tough moment, guys, where I thought to myself, maybe I should have just walked away. Maybe I should have just given up. And maybe I should stop thinking maybe because my rights were violated. I'm a tough son of a bitch and I'm not going to take this shit. You guys gave me a lot of strength tonight. Hot tow truck girl. You know, Joe Orga drove all the way down there. All of the folks out there that called and had my back. Thank you. You guys are my saving grace. You keep pushing me forward, and excuse me if I get a little bit emotional, but I asked myself and you guys when we did the first live stream about Joe Lunar, I wonder if he felt alone. And never did I feel alone. You know, for a second we always have that quick thought, like, what if I did this? What if I did that? And it was a resounding screw the what ifs. We're in this together, and we're in it for the long haul. We're gonna keep doing this. We're not gonna let them stop us. We're a team. What's up, Glenn? Oh, I'm not gonna quit. And you know what? That momentary, what if I should, thank you, Espen, thank you, Espen. That momentary, should I have walked away was the best thing. Wild Nick, yes, man, thank you. That quick second of maybe I shouldn't have done this, that's the best thing that could have ever happened to me. Because the moment that we question our own freedom, and the moment that we say to ourselves, maybe I should have just let my rights be violated instead of fighting for them. That's the moment that this country has lost the beauty that it has. And it gave me a fire under my ass. This isn't gonna stop, it's not gonna slow down, it's not gonna separate. We're gonna hit it, and we're gonna hit it even more hard. Because we're out here, guys. We're out here together. We're not gonna quit. Just like Joe Cool didn't quit when he got illegally arrested, just like Joe Luna didn't quit when he got illegally arrested, just like Anselmo didn't quit when he got illegally arrested. I'm not gonna quit because I got illegally arrested, because I got illegally maced, because I got illegally hit and beat by these stupid pig tyrants. You knocked me back. You know what? I felt a little broken tonight, people. Thank God for being broken, because it lets you put a much better version of yourself back together. Bigger, faster, stronger, freer. And that's the reason I wanted to thank you today. Stay safe out there, guys. I love every one of you.
In the year 1773, James Warren proposed that Sam Adams form a committee of correspondence. And this was a group that would write letters and then distribute these letters across America. The committees of correspondence would be in each town, and they would pass along news to inform the rest of the nation of injustices being committed in Boston. And in there, James Warren writes, "The rights of the colonists and of this particular province in particular, as men and as Christians and as subjects, to communicate and publish the same to the several towns in this province and to the world as the sense of this town." So in other words, we got atrocities going on here. We want to let the rest of the world know about it. You know, unless the world knows, it can go on.
Yes, I was trying to speak to one of the chiefs, assistant chief, or the chief himself about a particular case from December. I just wanted to discuss some issues.
About a case in December?
Yes, I know that sounds very strange, but the reason it's taken so long for me to address it is because I only recently received the body cam video.
Okay, and do you have a case number?
2018-000-47316.
And were you assigned to a detective? Was there a detective in charge of it? Do you know?
No, it wasn't that type of thing. This was an incident, a traffic incident.
Okay, so because he's not available, you would first need to start with Captain Clements. Can I transfer you over to him?
Sure. That was.
I
think I
he
tried
would be
calling.
over that. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I think I tried calling that individual earlier, but all I got was voicemail. But if he's available, that'd be great.
He was probably on the phone, so if you leave him a message, he'll call you back, okay, if he doesn't answer.
Oh, okay.
All right, hold on. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, I just need to speak to somebody. I just keep on getting, and I know that these guys are busy, don't get me wrong. I just, everybody I try calling, all I get is voicemail, so.
Yeah, you know, some people are on their phones, some are out, some are back, but he will call you back if he doesn't answer, if you leave him a message. And he is the captain over that area, so you need to start with him, okay?
Okay, I understand.
Okay. All right, hold on.
Hello, this is Captain Royce Clements with the Idaho Falls Police Department. Not able to take your call right now, so you can leave a phone number and a message, and I'll call you back as soon as I can. If you need to talk to someone right away, you can call my assistant at 208-612-8660. Thank you.
Please leave a message at the tone. When finished, you may hang up or press pound for additional options.
Hi, my name is Andre. I'm calling in reference to Idaho Falls Police Department case number 2018-000-47316. The date of the case was December 30th, 2018. know that was several months ago, but the reason that I'm trying to discuss and conversate with you about this particular case is because I recently received copies of the body cam videos, and from what I saw in the videos, I'm not saying it was the worst case of police-citizen interaction I've ever seen. It's not like you guys are the worst in the world, but I was disturbed by the video because from what I saw, one of the passengers I feel was treated overly aggressively by the Idaho Falls Police Department during that particular case number 2018-000473116. Her name was Amy Marie McCammon. That's Amy Marie McCammon. And she was a passenger, not the driver, in a vehicle that was pulled over the vehicle had supposedly failed to make a signal, so the driver was pulled over. Now, the driver did give the IFPD some problems. He was being, I guess, he wasn't complying, he wasn't given his driver's license and registration and all that. But then Amy, as a passenger, one of the IFPD officers then directed his investigation and his authority towards Amy Marie McCammon as a passenger. And he demanded Amy's ID. And supposedly he claimed that Amy was in violation of the Idaho seatbelt law. Well, it turns out, from what I read, and I'm 100% sure of this, and you could watch the video for yourself, and you can, of course, look up the Idaho seatbelt law for anyone over the age of 18, is that she had never actually broken that law. The officer was dead sure that she had violated the Idaho seatbelt law, and that because of that reason, his demand for ID from her was legitimate, and that if she didn't comply, there was going to be problems. Well, there definitely was problems. She ended up going to the jailhouse. Long story short, is the officer and his fellow officers, they dragged her out of the car, put her in handcuffs, and arrested her. Eventually, she only got charged for resisting and obstructing an officer. But the point I'm trying to make is that everything that led up to her arrest, as far as I'm concerned, was not legitimate and legal, because the officer that approached that vehicle, which, by the way, was already parked, it wasn't in the road, the car didn't get pulled over while driving. The police, by the time they came up on the vehicle's already parked. So, and that's key right there, because when the officer approached that vehicle on foot, that vehicle was already parked. It was not in motion, and that's the key, because since the vehicle was not in motion, when the officer came up and supposedly saw Amy with no seatbelt on, that means that he did not have, as far as I'm concerned, I'm no lawyer, but from what I could see there, and from what I understand from the law, he didn't have probable cause that she had violated the seatbelt law, because the vehicle wasn't in motion. So there's nothing to dispute about the seatbelt law, because the car was not going anywhere. And so what I'm saying is that everything after that, where he demanded ID and eventually arrested Amy Marie McCammon, was not lawful, because she had never violated the seatbelt law in the first place. And so I feel that, even though that this incident didn't happen to me, that this is a serious issue, and serious in the fact that the police who are enforcing these laws need to actually properly enforce the laws, and if there is a law to be enforced, then it needs to be applied properly, and they need to know what they're applying. It shouldn't just be something that they're firing from the hip and just making things up as they go along. I think you'd agree with that, being in the position you are at the department. I mean, it sounds like you've been on the force for, I'm guessing, a couple decades, and you're one of the highest supervisors in the department. So that's what my phone call is about, is that this woman, her name is Amy Marie McCammon, on December 30th, 2018, in case number 2018-000473116, she was aggressively detained and eventually taken to the jailhouse by the IFPD, and I feel that it was done unlawfully, and the video will prove that. You can watch it for yourself, and I will try calling back later. My name is Andre, Andrei. My cell phone number is 915-781-4330. That's 915-781-4330. That's my cell number. You'll probably notice my area code is not from Idaho whatsoever. I don't live in Idaho. I've never been to Idaho. I know that sounds strange, but as far as I'm concerned, the world's getting smaller. So
watching the video is all I needed. I don't need to be in Idaho to see what happened. And I know that the incident didn't happen to me, so I can't make a formal complaint, but I still felt it was important to make this phone call and leave this voicemail because I think that, you know, someone at the top like yourself should be discussing this with the leadership of the IFPD because, you know, there's no way that Amy Marie McKinnon broke the law that night regarding the Idaho seatbelt law, and there's definitely no reason she should have been taken to the jailhouse over something that minor. So that's what I'm calling and leaving this voicemail about, and I hope that the IFPD leadership can address this issue and correct the procedures of the IFPD going forward. All right, again, my name is Andre, Andrei. I live in Texas, and my cell phone number is 915-781-4330. That's 915-781-4330. Thank you, sir. Have a good day. Bye.
To send this message, press pound or hang up. To review, press 1. To
Well, he's videotaping
Sir,
my whole car.
You have no right to put their information on YouTube. You want to put me on there, you go ahead.
First of all,
You leave them out of it.
I don't know what you guys are thinking I'm going to do with that information, but all I'm doing is
put it on
record keeping.
YouTube. I know what you do with it.
Of course I do.
Now the story that might never have surfaced if someone hadn't picked up his home video camera. We've all seen the pictures of Los Angeles police officers beating a man they had just pulled over. The city's police chief said today he will support criminal charges against some of the men.
Officer Powell, you wanted him to get up, didn't you?
No, sir.
You wanted him to move towards you, didn't you?
No, that's not what
You
I
wanted to hit him in the head with a baton, didn't you?
No, sir.
This is a trial that sent protesters into the streets, demanding justice and, in some cases, revenge. A trial that seemed to be based on an 81-second videotape recorded on March 3rd, 1991 on a home video camera. Evidence that seemed so clear and convincing that the nation had already presumed guilt long before the jury reached its verdict.
All right, let's have quiet in the courtroom, please.
But the case wasn't decided in the streets. It was decided in this courtroom. The case is California versus Powell, Wynn, Briseno, and Kuhn, 4 Los Angeles police officers charged in the beating of motorist Rodney King. And despite the apparent simplicity of that one piece of videotape evidence, what happened here was anything but simple. All 4 of the police officers charged are tried together. Officer Lawrence Powell, a 4-year veteran of the Los Angeles Police Department. Powell is seen on the video striking Rodney King over 45 times. He's charged with assault with a deadly weapon, excessive force by an officer, and with filing a false police report. Sergeant Stacy Kuhn, a 14-year veteran of the Los Angeles Police Department. Kuhn faces the most charges: assault with a deadly weapon, excessive force by an officer, filing a false police report, and trying to conceal the alleged crime. While Kuhn did not strike Rodney King with a baton, as the highest-ranking officer on the scene, prosecutors allege that he directed his officers to do so. Officer Timothy Wind, a rookie on the Los Angeles Police Department. Wind is seen on the video kicking and hitting King about 15 times, although the exact number is unclear. He is charged with assault with a deadly weapon and with excessive force by an officer. Finally, Officer Theodore Briseno, a 9-year veteran of the Los Angeles Police Department. Briseno is charged with assault with a deadly weapon and with excessive force by an officer. Prosecutors claim that Briseno kicked Rodney King. And it's the tape that prosecutors will use as the linchpin of their case.
This is my traffic stop. Get to work. This is my traffic stop. Get to work.